So we're going to begin the meeting today. First of all, I want everyone to realize this meeting is all about you and your database. You have leads. You might not realize that you have leads, but you have leads. I'm going to go through several different exercises to talk about how you could extract the leads. First of all, what is a database? Facebook is a database. You might not look at it that way, but it is. Your CRM, certainly a database. Your any type of LinkedIn or your iPhone is a database. So before we get any further with all this, I want all of you to really consider what needs to be done, how you're going to be able to go out and get the work done. And we're going to get started in just a couple minutes, but first we're going to let the mob in. Let me just get everybody in here. Got a bunch of people that are just joining. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where is everyone? I hope we're not having issues here because we got a lot of people that are supposed to be here. And any issues logging in today, guys? A verbal answer would be
It appeared to
groovy.
me as though you were late, but I don't know if that was a login issue or if you were actually late.
I probably was actually late. I apologize to you and to everyone else. Let's see what's going on here. I'll give everyone just a minute or so. Rick, good morning. Club
Hey, how are you?
Realm. I don't know what Club Realm is, but that sounds pretty cool. Um, Let me just see here. Again, there's clearly some type of issue because I'm not getting the logins. Don't attempt to adjust your television set. This is just Ed trying to figure out what the heck is wrong. Going in there. Okay, got a couple other people joining here. Okay, so we're going to be getting started here. This is being recorded and it is going to be put up on Instagram for everyone to be able to view. Aton's going to be here in a minute. He's going to get the um, workbook out, unless you've already downloaded the workbook. Did you guys download the workbook? Anyone? Greg?
No, I did not.
No, you did not. Okay. So Aton will be here momentarily and we'll just get that going. Just give me another minute. Okay, Jorge's coming in. Maybe everyone's just running late. I don't know. Normally I was expecting about 30 people at this point. So sorry to penalize you guys who got here on time. Uh, Jorge, was there a problem logging in this morning?
Yeah, I was actually checking the Google Calendar and there was no Zoom link in there, so I was waiting on Google Meet. I only was able to find it via email, so maybe I saw that Lavette was in there as well in Google Meet as well.
Ah,
So I thought there was a change. That might be what's going on.
yeah. Okay. So I apologize for the technical issue. In any case, I do hope that we're able to get this going here. I want to talk specifically to you about your databases and about what in your database you need to really concern yourselves with. First of all, who wants to have a guess? What is a database? Jorge, unmute yourself. I want to definitely get this out there.
Talking about like a CRM, just a
Okay, that a CRM, that's a database. What else is a database?
email list,
Good. What
uh,
else is a database?
anything that stores data
Okay,
for the most
anything,
part.
but let's get specific. You know, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna
Sure.
pick on you a little bit more.
Excel can be the database if you
Excel
want
is
an
a
Excel.
database. Very good. Very,
Yeah.
very good.
How about
What about
index cards?
what?
How about index cards that we used to
Index
use?
cards. Well, yeah. I mean, and by the way, I know a guy who still uses index cards and he's making a fortune.
Right.
I am Mr. AI, but I will say this, that whatever you use will work. So we'll focus on that as well. What about, um, what about okay, Facebook, Instagram? What about your iPhone?
Sure. Yeah.
Hold on. What about your iPhone? So the iPhone, let's go through a very brief exercise here. Can you pull out your iPhone now? Who has an iPhone? Show of hands.
Yeah.
Okay, one, two. Club Realm, no iPhone? Maybe? Or Windows? Something. Okay, Windows. So there's going to be an equivalent to the Windows here. What I'd like you to do is, I'm not sure how we do it on Windows, but you can pull up your iPhone, touch the little phone app, and in there, you're going to see contacts. I want you to scroll all the way past Z. It's a little hashtag, and I want you to tell me how many contacts you have in your database. And again, how that works, Club Realm, I'm not sure in Windows, but you are able to pull up a set of contacts to be able to figure it out. Jorge, how many contacts do you have?
148.
148. Okay, so that's lower than I expected, but that's great. Hedeka says 3,000. Greg,
3,217.
okay. Rick,
Got just about 2,000.
okay. So terrific. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to multiply that number times 7% and tell me what you have.
Couple hundred, I guess.
Just come on, work with me, baby. Do the math. Let's get specific.
10.
10. Good. Greg, Hedeka. You got to unmute Hedeka.
210, 210.
210. So you had 3,000 times 7%. 210. Great.
225.
25. Terrific. That represents statistically how many people in your database are going to move this year, at least in that database. Kind of a bit of an eye opener, don't you think? At least it was to me. I wish I was the one who made that up. The big question becomes, how do we actually extract that opportunity from the iPhone? What are we going to actually do to be able to figure this out? All of this is going to come together as one merge to be able to figure this out. And again, I want all of you to embrace this for what it is with the texts and the chats. And again, when Eitan makes it in here, he'll give out the workbook once again. I don't have access to it this second.
I am here.
You are here. Eitan, can you please distribute the workbook?
Yep.
Okay, and great. So Eitan's my partner. He's in Europe. So that was the thing. So what we just went over for those that are coming in, your iPhone, look at the contacts, scroll to the bottom of the contacts, tell me exactly how many people you have in there. Okay, Hedeka had 3,000. Rick had over 3,000. Some of you had much less. It's fine, but I want you to take a look at that. You multiply that times 7%, and you're going to get statistically the number of people that are going to be moving per year. But Ed, a lot of those people are realtors. Fine, cut the number in half. If you feel as though your database is somehow corrupted, you're going to come up with the number of people, and those are the number of people that you're going to need to consider marketing to. So that's one group. Another thing, who's done a search on Twitter or social media for a specific outcome? I'll tell you what I mean. Go look on Twitter right now. Greg, do you have an X account?
I do.
Okay, great. Open up your Twitter. Anyone else who's got it as well, open up your Twitter, and I want you to search hashtag moving to, and then name your city. Moving to Boca Raton, moving to Lisbon, moving to where, I want you to start to do this. There's a reason for this exercise, guys, and I'm trying to demonstrate the volume of databases that you have with the volume of information that's coming at you and you're doing nothing with. So take a look at that. Greg, you're a creative guy. Come up with other hashtags as well that might match that. So it's going to be, it should pop out to you. Okay, great. Deneen, who's sitting quietly in the background, presumably because it's 6:10 a.m. in LA, she's got 6,082 contacts. Deneen, multiply that times 7% and tell me what you have. Great. So we got two things going on in parallel here right now. The first is the number of contacts you have in your iPhone, smartphone, whatever it might be. Again, for those who have the Windows phone, there's a way of searching it for contacts as well. I'm sure it's simple. I'm just not a Windows guy. So, take a look at that. Part two, multiply it by 7%. You now have statistically the number of people in your database that are going to move. You can reduce that number by 50% if you think you have too many realtors in your iPhone. Great. So we got that there. Two, we did a search on social media, looking at the hashtag moving to name your city, moving from New York City, moving from, wherever it might be. Okay, Deneen did her math. She's got 425. Deneen, statistically, you've got more than one person a day moving. Just let that marinate for a second because we're going to tie this all together as well. Um, Greg, what did you come up with anything as of yet? Nothing. No, not one thing from the hashtags. Hedeka, you're working on it as well. You got to unmute. Nothing. Nobody's moving to anywhere. Nobody's moving from anywhere. Come on,
I
guys.
think
You got to
it's
work a little bit harder.
I think it's the user here that's not putting it in right.
Okay. Okay. So great. However that might be, we're going to play with it a little bit more and be able to do that. Who's got a CRM? Club Realm has 24,061 people. That's you got me beat. I've got 14,000 people. So somehow everything ended up collectively in our databases over the years. So Club Realm, again, there's got to be a story behind the name at some point. But again, multiply that by 7%, you'll be able to figure this out. All those things, whatever metric you want to do. Okay, Greg, go ahead.
So I finally got results, but what then? So I got quite a few results on moving to Charleston. Now what?
Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take, uh, either yourself or better yet, an agentic browser and do the search. Let me demonstrate. Thank you for leading me right into what this was going to be.
To tell you what I'm seeing is a lot of my competition is posting with that hashtag.
Okay, they may be. And now we're going to find a way to separate that, and we're going to get to the good stuff. I just have way too much stuff on my screen. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is X. This is the Comet browser. For those of you who don't know what the Comet browser is, look back at our archive on Bogen.ai and you can learn for yourself what we're doing here. Comet is an agentic browser by Perplexity, which is an AI. I click here and I'm going to say in this, please agentically control my screen on x.com and look up people moving, look up people with the hashtag moving to Charleston. Please return the list highlighting people who are not realtors. Okay? So, Greg, this is for you. Greg speaks up all the time and he gets stuff, guys. So, you guys speak up. You'll be able to see this. Now, you see how it turned blue. For those of you who haven't been in the past meetings, this means the browser is agentically taking control of the screen and actually doing the search. And I asked it to control my screen, look up people with the hashtag moving to Charleston. Please return the list highlighting people who are um, not realtors. It's imperfect. I want to be very clear. It's messy. It's not the way that you guys necessarily are used to working. But this will return a list that we can now synthesize and be able to hopefully find in a variety of areas. Again, I'm a farmer. This is not necessarily the way I always do business, the way I do my hunting. I like to go to the clubhouse and have a drink and meet people that are going to be moving. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with hunting this way. I've done both and I've made money in both ways. But right now, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is that the AI is doing the search for us. If I wasn't focused on it right now, I could very easily focus on other things. So completed some people. These are the ones you asked me to highlight. So great. It's got some people here that are now highlighted, and we could drill this down even further. Let's talk about how we could drill this down even further. Who's got some ideas of what we could do? We've got a bunch of people. They're not realtors. Rachel Taylor. Again, we got some funny, like Kate with a flower, Patricia Murray. We got different names here. What can we do now in the search? Who intuitively, let me take a look at all of you before who
How
intuitively
current
has an idea? Hmm?
how current are these listing?
That's X. So we don't know the answer to that just yet. And Greg, you're 100% right. It could be that they've already moved and it means absolutely nothing to you. But then again, we can now refine the search. And what I'm trying to get all of you to think, maybe it's not hashtag move to Charleston. Maybe it is something else that is a big tell about Charleston that you could use. Maybe there's something within that search. Maybe it's not worth it at all. I don't know. I know a lot of people have actually done this and they've done very, very well. So I'm throwing this out to you as just another possibility. By the way, you could do the same thing on LinkedIn. You could do the same thing on Facebook. You've got a database of people that are doing stuff. You might as well utilize it and try and figure that out, right? Okay, so I'll go back to the question that I originally asked. What other things can we do? Let me go back to this guy. So here we are, and we got these people here. What do you suppose we could ask of the people that are highlighted? Ideas. I'm going to pick on Hedeka. I'm going to pick on Jorge, and I'm going to pick on Karen Knox. If you guys don't mind unmuting yourselves, please. Please don't make me beg. You can hide, but you can't
Good
hide forever.
morning. Good morning,
Good morning. Who's this?
Karen.
Karen. Hi. Karen,
So I,
you've got
I
two
think,
you've got two computers on, Karen.
yeah,
And
I don't know why.
as a
I can't
result,
hear on my laptop.
okay, if you could turn one of them off or mute that one, we won't have the bouncy noise. You got that? You got to unmute one of them though. And you got to turn the sound down on the other.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear myself on the computer, but I can't hear you. That is insane.
Okay, if you just logged in once, but I'm going to need to move on to somebody else because again, I can't tech you out right here. You just need to have one login, Karen. Okay. Jorge, let's pick on you. Okay, great. What else will we be able to do? What else could we do to search these people?
There's you're asking for like how you can search them up in terms of like getting relevant data apart like
I want to drill down on these people that have actually answered.
so look for any kind of like relevant context on them basically.
Okay. Well, let's say just that and see what comes up. May work, may not. Do me a favor, look up relevant context on the people that you're saying that are not realtors that I need to search. Were there other posts that they made about moving? Okay. And this is going to agentically take the screen again. The point is that I'm running you, doesn't it feel like a funnel? We're running you down a funnel to be able to see just how far you could go. Um, and how far you're going to be able to pull this information out and what you could actually do with it. Same thing goes with the database. Now, Jorge, you're a database guy, right? You're a CRM guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a particular CRM that's your go-to?
Go high level.
Go high level. And tell us about Go High Level.
It's basically a CRM that lets you run your whole business. You could use it for sales, but also building funnels, all this other type of stuff. The company that I work with uses it extensively, and so do a lot of our customers.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is run some prompts in your funnel. You don't have to share your screen, but would you run a couple prompts for me?
I'm not sure
I
how
want you
to
to run
do.
some prompts on Claude or ChatGPT to be able to do some stuff with the actual database. It's going to ask you to to load some of your data in. I'm not expecting you to give us any secrets right now, but if you could just follow my instruction, that would be kind of cool.
Sure.
Don't be scared.
No, it's not
How is
that.
he gonna connect to the CRM?
So, what,
That's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I want you to do is do a, run a prompt. Do you have the workbook?
I don't believe so. I might have it via email, and it looks like it's here in the chat, right? From what I can see.
Well, I would hope. Let me just take a look. Eitan, did you put this in the chat? There we go. Okay, great. So now, why don't you take a look at some of these prompts here? So here, we'll try prompt number one. I use Go High Level for my real estate database. List every behavioral and engagement data point it can track on my contact, email opens, link clicks, page views, listing views, form activity, etc. Then rank them by how predictive each is the buyer intent, and tell me which ones I could build automated triggers on. What I want you to do is just enter that into ChatGPT. You should have that as the first prompt in the workbook.
Sure. And just put it
Like
in.
any one of you could do that for whatever database you have. In fact, I wish you would.
So Ed, what you're asking is what can that CRM, what data points within that CRM
Correct.
are?
Correct. So the first thing we're doing is an analysis of the CRM itself. You know, if he's Go High Level and you're follow-up boss or somebody else's market leader, we need to have that information first and foremost. So then beyond that, we're going to build the trigger rules. Help me design behavioral trigger rules for my buyer database in his case, Go High Level. For each rule, specify the trigger condition, the automated action, the timing, and the message angle. Start with these scenarios. Contact views of the same listing 3 times. Contact views 2 listings in one neighborhood in 1 week. And 3, contact browsing price brand increases. Keep it implementable without a developer. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about what we're going to do to merge the databases in a moment. But I want you to get the prompting right. So who started that?
It's working in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you seeing?
I'm using Claude, so it says synthesizing GHL tracking capabilities, and it's doing its whole thinking thing. It's just thinking in the background.
Okay. So once it actually thinks through, one of the things that you could do are one of two things. If you're using Claude, there's something called an MCP. Okay. That's a connection between Claude and your database. I don't know if you actually have that set up with Go High Level. If you do
No,
not, which I suspect most of you don't, what you could do is do a data export from your database to input into the CRM. And from there, you're going to do one other prompt. You're going to go into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever you're using and say, my database is not connected to you. What information do I need to extract from that database to be able to make this a meaningful search? You following that? Again, there's several steps in here. I'm not suspecting that you're necessarily going to have the exact answer right now, but I would like to follow up with all of you to see how far you were able to go. You know, Club Realm, you mind if I ask you who you are?
I'm a tech stack. I sell tech stacks, CRMs, all the API integrations,
Cool.
data points, everything.
And aside from Club Realm, are you like Madonna or Liberace?
No. I sell real estate. I work
What,
with independents.
what,
Sir,
Work with
what
all
is
the
your
brokers
name?
what is your name?
Mark Eibner.
Okay, nice to meet you, Mark. I'm going to
Yep.
keep calling you Club Realm if I didn't know that it was Mark. So, welcome to the meeting. Okay, so continuing with this, who else has got some of the searches going on now? Got to work it, guys. Again, I know you might have been expecting me to do all the talking today, but I really need you to try. Anyone? Anyone? Is it still searching, Jorge?
No, it just gave me a list of all the stuff that Go High Level could do, basically like a feature list type of
Okay.
thing.
Next question. Why don't you ask Claude if there's an MCP server that will connect Go High Level to Claude?
I'm sure there is, but I like the company doesn't let me connect or export any of their databases in order to like in my personal stuff. I think they view that as me stealing their, their data or their leads and stuff. I I'd rather not
Got
do
it.
that.
Okay. I'm not asking you to jeopardize your career over this.
Sure.
But what I am trying to do is say that once you actually have the connection between the two, a lot of information that's already out there is going to come forward to you. How about this? Why don't you all do a search? Who's got another CRM aside from Go High Level or Follow Up Boss, aside from Mark? Um, who
By
else
the
in
way,
here?
I just looked it up. High Level does have an MCP that can connect to Claude.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to do it because of company rules. But I figured there was going to be something. Who else has a CRM other than Go High Level or Excel? Nobody? Levette, you must have a CRM. You're always making phone calls.
I I use Bold Trail, but I don't really use it, to be honest with you. I only use it for text blasting because I don't like it. I think I told you that it's free with my company,
Yeah.
but I don't really use it because it's a lot. It's overwhelming. It's just so many things you can do with it, and I haven't really taken the time.
Listen to Levette. If it's free, you could take your date to a soup kitchen or you could take her to Le Cirque. Now, in which case do you think you're going to get a second date? Okay, you don't take your date to the soup kitchen. That's the hint here. Okay, who else? Hedeka, using any database?
Uh, um, I don't know if the Studio Pro you consider
Yes.
it database. Okay, so that's something that I use. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get you guys to do, although you're really making me work for it today, what I'm trying to get you to do is to enter into that database and do a little bit of searching for what's going on. Namely, who is an orphaned contact or a contact that you've not had, that you did a deal with many, many years ago? Can somebody look that up for me? Okay. If it's a dud topic, let me know because you guys are frustrating me right now. I need you guys to wake up and start participating. I know I'm not supposed to lash out here, but I'm dying. You guys have to actually participate here today. Bismarck, unmute yourself. Deneen, unmute yourself. Dora, unmute yourself. We need to talk. Come on. Deneen, how are you?
I'm good, but I
Good.
don't,
Thank you for saving me. Uh,
of
so
course.
do
I'm
you
trying to
use
figure out how to do this.
Okay, so we can. There's nothing wrong with trying to figure it out. I just want to do that. Dora, how are you?
I'm good. I just logged in, so I
Good.
apologize.
No worries, no worries.
I'm catching up.
Do you use a database?
I do.
Okay, what database?
Moxie.
Moxie. Okay, good. So you're using Moxie. How many contacts do you have in Moxie? Can you easily identify that?
I could log in and get it on. I just literally logged on, but
Per-
I have about 2,700 contacts in there.
Fantastic. And of them, how many past clients are actually in there that you've sold to, either buyers or sellers?
I would say probably about 300 of them over the past 11 years. Everybody's in there.
You saved me. Thank you. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. All of you have this, by the way. Dora's just bold enough to talk. So, um, so why don't we, take a look at that and find anyone that has done a deal with you. How many years have you been in the business, Dora?
11.
11. Great. Go back 5 or later. So go back to 2001 or before, 2021 or before. And see if you could come up with, again, it might be a harder search for you, but see if you could come up with people that you sold a deal to 5 years ago or sooner or earlier.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so she'll take a look at that. Deneen, can you try and do something similar, maybe? Kind of, sort of?
Yes, I'm trying.
You are trying. Okay, good. And Karen, did you get your audio together? Maybe not. Okay. So great. So they are doing their searches within the database. What we're going to get from that is an understanding of exactly how many people they did business with that they've not communicated with or that have been somewhat orphaned for the last 5 years. All of you should be doing this exercise weekly. All of you should be doing this exercise weekly where you're able to figure out just who was somebody from the past. Then we could build a bridge to being able to communicate with them. That's the idea behind it. So the database is going, and you're going to be able to do a much further search on each of those people. These are people that trusted you at one time. So to me, this should be considered the low-hanging fruit. My hope is that Dora comes up with more than 100 names. We'll see in a minute. But from there, you're going to be able to decide what you're going to do to build a bridge to be able to get in with those particular people. Here's another thing, talking about the type of people in your database. Who has a ton of realtors in their database?
I do.
You do. You do. Of course, Mark does. We know Mark must. Okay. So all of you guys have a ton of realtors in your database. These are people who should be, I know I've got people in my office, 35% of their business comes from other agents from out of town. Look, this is a stylistic thing. It depends upon how you want to sell. Hedeka knows this. We just did a deal together. Hedeka, I hope you got paid. You should be getting paid pretty soon.
Okay, thank you. Mazel tov, by the way.
Congratulations. Yes, that's Mazel
Thank
Tov. We
you.
love it. So she had a need, somebody that wanted to move here, referred it to us. My team took care of it. It took a little bit, but we got the deal done. Now, that shouldn't be an unfamiliar story to most of you, but I'm trying to give you several different lines of business that you could start focusing on that you might not have considered in the past. You might not have considered that if you're making a referral out at 25% from making just a referral, that's not bad. That should be a line of business. I just met with Carrie McCormick in Chicago. She said to me, yeah, she does about 10 deals a year that are outbound referrals. 10 deals a year, outbound referrals, not bad. How many deals were yours last year? And if you say 0 or 1, that's something that we could actually, as a program, lean in on and be able to try and extract more opportunity from those agents. Does that make a lot of sense? Okay. It
Yeah,
sounds
definitely.
fairly basic. Thank you. Fairly basic, but to know the agents and to be able to do this. But here, it's a little bit more than knowing them. I'll give you this quick story. My dad, several years ago, had a friend who was buying a very expensive condo in Miami. He said, oh, yeah, we were talking about the broker and he's going with this person. And I looked at my dad and I said, how do you do? Edmund Bogen, I'm your son. I sell real estate for a living. Do you know who the fuck I am, Dad? Okay. And so, what actually came of that? Yeah, but you're Boca Raton. You're St. Andrew's Country Club. Even my dad, and he wants me to win. I've got a wonderful relationship with my dad. Even my dad somehow it missed it. And the more people I've mentioned this to, this statement resonates with you. You'll say, God, yes, somebody else made the recommendation because you weren't top of mind. So how are we going to actually get you top of mind with those people? There needs to be some type of ongoing communication that's able to deliver it. Dora, any luck yet?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm just still trying to figure out these filters, how to go by age. But when I just did I got 58.
You got 50. Okay. So, and that makes sense because you were in your infancy 11 years ago. 6 years ago, you were hitting your stride, and it makes sense that you've got 50 from 6 years past and the majority now. We're supposed to get better over time, not worse, right?
Yeah.
One would hope. Okay, great. So of those people that you're coming up with, what can we do? What bridge can you make to be able to get in touch with them that's not going to, ruin your brand? In other words, calling out of the blue might be a little strange. I'm throwing this out to everyone. Dora, you'll be the first because you're here. What's one idea that you could use to actually get in touch with those people?
I guess probably text them or something, say, hey, I was driving by and not just call them.
Driving by. That's great. Has anyone heard about the dirty CMA? There's different names for it. They drive by a house, They look up the property on Zillow. They make a screenshot of Zillow of that property. They text that person and they say to the people, um, dear Joe, dear Mary, whatever the person's name is, it's Dora Rudick. Am I saying that right, Dora?
Yep, that's correct.
It's Dora Rudick, long time no speak. This is what Zillow thinks your house is worth. I have an opinion about what it's worth. What do you think your home is worth? It's been a long time since we chatted. Let's catch up. Try it. Try it. Somebody called it the dirty CMA or the poor man's CMA. I've heard a few different people, but it came from Zillow. It was that published number. People actually do look at the pricing of their home. These 50 people now get this text from you. Dora, you will get business from this. You will.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
again, aside from the little CMA trick, what else can you actually do? Birthdays, great. Re-engage. Facebook has a ton of them. Every day you should be reaching out to all the people whose birthdays are on Facebook. What else do we have? Taxes. At least in Florida, I don't know how it works in Pittsburgh, Dora, but in Florida, if you pay your property taxes by November 30th, they give you a 4% discount on what the stated rate is. And then if you pay it by December, it's going to be 3%. And
Yeah,
then
very
January
similar.
it's 2%, and February it's 1%, and then after that you're penalized. To me, it's not really a discount as much as it is like this is the rate, don't get penalized. I mean, they've positioned it differently. They're doing the same thing in Pennsylvania.
It's very similar. And we also have the homestead exemption when you first buy a house too, which is really cool,
It's
which people
fantastic.
need to apply for to save on their taxes indefinitely if it's their first home. So
Yeah. Good stuff. This is the type of communication that we should be setting up. And the good news is with AI, a lot of this can actually be automated. So we know that everyone has a birthday if they're alive. We know that everyone, because I do business with dead people as well. We'll talk about that next. But we know that everybody has a birthday. We know that everyone has an anniversary. We know that there's an anniversary of when the property was bought. We know that there is a tax concern that everyone has. We know that many people are either Christian, Jewish, Muslim, they're celebrating something. We know all these different things that are actually happening, but yet we're not acting on it. And if you're looking for a tell, you're going to be able to do deeper research using AI into your social media and into your database to be able to extract that opportunity. Follow up and use these sheets that Eitan and I produced because it really will give you some insights into who is out there. I'm just trying to run just some ideas. So let me just see what else we have here. Okay, one other search that you could actually do, which I think would be very, very productive. And again, Dora, I don't know how connected you are with your local tax record. One of the things that I like to do, and let's just take a look here. Um, Again, going back with the Agentic browser, I'll start from the beginning. Our property taxes in Florida is called PAPA, Palm Beach Property Appraiser. You see it pops right up. And over here, I can now do a search. Can
We
you
don't see your screen,
I
Edmund.
thank you so much. That's my bad. There we go. Thank you, Greg, for whoever that was for saving me here. So here, this is Papa. This is Palm Beach Property Appraisers. I'll go back. And all of you have something similar to this in your region. So one of the things that I could say to this is, can you do a search for people who have owned their homes in zip code 33496 for more than 20 years? And this is now going to once again turn blue, and that's going to do that search for me. And what's going to happen? It's going to hopefully come up with the information that we need, but you could see the value to that. We could also do something like who's owned that home for 20 years and it also is an absentee owner. All of these things, every year someone's owned a home, statistically, they're getting closer to the sale. That's a statistical truth. So while I want you to be as specific as possible, I told you right from the beginning of this meeting, I'm a farmer. For those of you that want to go broad, this is a great exercise for you to go through because what you're going to be able to do is extract information from people that have a higher probability of selling. And from there, we could build a database and build a list, and you could start to do all sorts of things, whether it be getting them into social media. Well, maybe the older people won't be as user friendly, although I'm happy to say I'm entering the older years and I'm very, very user friendly when it comes to these things. Don't make a face, Greg. Don't make a face, Greg. Stop that. Okay? In
You
any
are a
case,
puppy, my friend. You are just a
I'm
puppy.
young. I'm 58. It works. Okay, so look, it's actually doing the search, searching all the way back to 1900. And this thing is going at it right now where it's going to come up with the data. Again, I invite you to try and do this in your own region with your own data and try and come up with it in a way that makes a little bit more sense. You could also find out about the mortgage levels. When did somebody take a mortgage out on that particular property? This would be an extensive all day AI effort, but I want to stress those words. It's AI making the effort there. And you could find out from there what the best search might be. Let me give you one other thing to actually consider. If you don't know what you're doing, we could go to Claude or ChatGPT or any one of these LLMs, and I could say to it, um, please create a prompt for my local tax authority that does property taxes. I want you to help me find out statistically what homes are most likely going to sell. Think years owned, think mortgage, think empty nester, think whatever you need to think, but create the perfect prompt for me. Thank you. Okay, so now this thing's going to work on that. Um, for those of you who are using Claude, they just came out with a new model called Fable. I don't know if anyone saw that. Aton, did you see that? Maybe.
Yes, but the price kind of scared me.
Yeah, it's double the usage. So they're setting this up for various levels of AI, which we've always known was coming. Um, okay,
So
so
do you
so
do you find it better?
I think I've had it at the end of this. I'll show some of the apps that I actually created with it. Yeah, I think it's really cool actually. But
How
here, so
much is it?
now, huh?
How much is it?
It's the same price. You're not paying anything more. It's just using the double the usage. So it's going to burn down on your account. I pay $200 a month for my Claude. I have what's called Claude Max, which gives me 20 times the usage of somebody that's paying $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and by using it, it really burns down on the usage. But let me also, and let me look at all of you for just a second. Let me just say this about usage. This is no money in the scheme of things. I don't want, like, if you're spending $1,000 a month on something that's generating business for you, this should be a non-thought. It really should. It just has to prove to you that it's actually something that will produce for you. If it's not producing, then it's a waste of money. If you're going on to Twitter, like somebody I know, sorry, on Grok and making funny videos or making funny sounds or things that Grok is so good at, then no, that's not worth the $30 a month. That's a waste of money. If on the other hand,
Hey, I feel targeted there.
if on the other hand, you're using this for real research and it's actually producing result, it amazes me how many of you will spend a couple $1,000s a month on Zillow and bust your ass to try and get some money out of this, but still won't give the same kind of thought to a research tool that's effectively hiring another person or another team of people. You just haven't been exposed to it the right way. Otherwise, the price point will be nothing to you. This will be a non-issue. And that's how I'm hoping you will consider. But let's go back to our little thing here. Great. So now copy this prompt and put it into Papa. So let's do this. I copied this prompt. And oh, by the way, let's see what this, I ran an advanced sales search on Palm Beach property appraisers, the zip code 33496. Last recorded sale was 6/9/2006. Owners who've had their home for more than 20 years. Result 12,344 entries matched, spread across 242 pages. I question that, you know, Please double check your answer. I believe that that's excessive. We need to make sure that it was the only sale recorded in that time. Please go back, do the research, and come back to me with the results. Again, like an assistant, AI makes mistakes, so you got to search through that. Let me open one other window, see if we could do another agentic search here, Papa. I'm going to put in the search that we had that I just produced that. Let's take a look at what this thing is. You are a real estate predictive analytics specialist. I'm luxury listing agent in Florida. I'm uploading property records. Export from Palm Beach property. Now, this is not what I wanted.
Almost everyone that's out of here doesn't fit in the elevator.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me go
How'd you
back.
guys get it up here? All the way up the stairs.
Do we just stay quiet and listen in? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to figure out who it was. Okay, so now I'm putting this back through the AI again to improve the search. Let's go back to this other search that's going on right now. And it's doing this. This is the key finding. There were 12,410 sales recorded after June 10th. Okay, no, so it did this. I want it recorded before that date, not after. And I don't want any other sale having happened since then. Great. So now it's going to go back and do this. Again, I'm glad that we're seeing the little hiccups that come along. This happens with everybody.
Yeah, I got it right here.
And we will, let's see. Okay. So here, and now it's going to actually go through that search and hunt for us. So it's going to download the CSVs and it's going to actually go a little bit deeper with its search right here. If you could take anything away from the meeting, and that is this, I want you to play with the databases. I want you to be able to take a critical look at who you're connected to. I want you to begin to think a little bit more creatively about all of this. One of the things that Deneen could do with their 6,082 contacts is she could go with an agentic browser and put it to Facebook and say, can you find some of these people? I would suggest you do maybe 50 a day, so it will take a little while, or 50 per search, and see how many of these people you're actually connected to on Facebook. It's messy. If you got somebody named Bob Jones, there's going to be way too many Bob Jones. It's a lot easier to find a Hedeka Azizi or an Edmund Bogen. Okay, it's not the most common names that are out there. I'm very fortunate. We should think about that when you have kids. Jorge, when you get married and have kids, don't give them a common name if you want them to be Googled and advance their career. I'm half joking, but the point is that you're able to actually do those searches and come up with a certain amount of data that's ultimately going to feed opportunity into you. Okay, other questions before we move on to wants, needs, and brags. I definitely think that this is a working meeting. I'm sorry for the hiccup in the beginning where everyone was trying to get in on and there was a missing link or something from my Google Calendar. We will definitely have that corrected for next time. We also have our next meeting tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. It's called Claude Code, how to utilize Claude Code, and I'm going to be giving out something now for all of you to utilize. But do any other questions on this at this point? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, let me just share with you a couple things. Eitan was asking me about this new realm, this new app, or the new Claude
Model.
the new Claude model. Thank you, Eitan. So let me just show you some of the things. I perfected this one. This is my ROI investment calculator. Now, why do we have this? This is something that is just going out to my team. I could give one to you as well if you have an investor client that's coming to you and they want to buy. Okay, yeah, well, we can leave this here. The purchase price is, let's make it $1 million. And the cash on cash targeted return they want is 6%. Now we could take a look at what kind of rental income will that property get. If that property is actually getting an $8,000 a month rent, we could see that it's actually below the target based on vacancy rate, property taxes, and other things. This is, for somebody that came to us and said they want a 6% return, it's not the easiest thing to figure out. Well, it's easy to figure out, but it's not the easiest thing to find because obviously you've got to concern yourselves with am I going to introduce them to properties that make absolutely no sense? So everyone on my team is first taking a look through this little app that was made and perfected with the new Claude model. So
Question.
go ahead.
I want this. It was just a conversation this morning with one of my commercial guys. And does this tool that you've developed here, this app, evaluate comparable rentals for that particular area? Or do I need to do that on my own?
No, but anything could be programmed. So the short answer is, we would need to go just a little bit deeper. One of the things that I also did with this new model of Claude was I took 20 years of data from my community. So we have 750 closed transactions from 2007 to 2026. And it's got some really interesting stuff. One of the things that I was asking was how many resold in those 20 years? In other words, what I was trying to come up with was statistically, if someone buys a home here in my community, how many people sell within 5 years? Because I noticed there are certain people that come here, believe it or not, they don't necessarily like it, or they might be getting divorced, or there might be whatever reason that they're doing this. And it came up with 21% of the people that buy here sell within 5 years. It was an interesting piece of statistics, and it was something that once again was generated from this new model. Here's something else that I created. I'm going to give this to you right now. This is called the Bogen method for Claude Code. So before you come to the meeting tomorrow, and I throw this out to all of you as an idea, I'm going to give this to everyone right now. You could use it yourself, see what it's all about. You're going to be asked to enter your name, your email, and your brokerage and primary market is your option. So we could fill all this stuff out. And you need to give permission for us to send you Claude tips and other invites, and you can unsubscribe at any point. And it gives you a badge when you first sign up for it, which is pretty cool because everybody likes to be kind of rewarded. And it's got multiple episodes teaching you how to use Claude Code. I've gamified it. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yes.
Okay,
That's cool.
So it gives you, a lesson. It tells you what it's all about. It shows you step by step how to get this into your system. And then it gives you a test on all of this. What's the single best reason Claude Code feels different than ChatGPT? And I know that it lives in your machine and it checks it off. If I didn't answer it within that 18 seconds, it would have said, sorry, you're wrong. And you could get on to the next question here. Let's see. A buddy says, AI gives me garbage. What's almost always the actual problem? AI isn't smart enough. He's using the wrong model. He prompts lack context. I know that to be correct. So it tests you on what you've actually utilized. This was done. I made this in about 7 hours using this new model. I think it's pretty wicked cool. And it gives you a whole set of toolboxes and you can see the badges that you actually get. I mean, I created a digitized gamified course, which I will put right here. And I suspect all of you will be signing up for it right now because it is free. In fact, I will be disappointed if you don't give my little app a try. Feel free to throw a cow at it if you hate it, if it doesn't work very well. But it brings me to the next point that I want to make with all of this, and it's getting a bit off subject here, but I think you want to hear this. I've tried to coin a phrase, software as a marketing tool. I believe that we could create software as a means of reaching out to certain people. For example, using AI, I created a relocation portal, which tells you about the schools in our area, which tells you about the great local restaurants, which gives a calculator to calculate the difference between renting and ownership, which gives you a calculator to tell you the difference between how much it's going to cost if you're going to move 1,200 miles from wherever to Florida and you've got a 3-bedroom apartment. How much is it going to cost to have them pack and move you or not pack? So, let me just see if I could pull that up for you guys because I think I kind of talked myself into it. It's a pretty cool app. Let me just pull this up here. Excuse me while I nerd out. Okay, so this is what we're going to be into tomorrow a little bit. Pull up. Okay. So, what am I doing with this app? I actually am making it specifically for a financial house here that's given us 6 leads that have gone on to close. And I'm creating this as an employee benefit. So these people can now take this app, give it to their staff that are moving down. And it's more than just hire Ed Bogen. Ed Bogen's great, and we know that already. That's fabulous. But it's really giving some critical information that people are going to want to utilize when they actually move here. This is going to come up in a second. We'll be able to take a look. Software as a marketing tool. Eitan, does it sound like a good topic for one of our meetings, do you think?
Yes,
Maybe?
for sure.
Okay. So maybe you could think about some other people that you're actually working with. Maybe you could think about some things that you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis. We're making landing pages for all of our developer clients. In fact, I'm going to a developer client right now and saying, look, I'm going to create for you something that would cost you $15,000. And that is your very own website with every one of your properties on there. The ones that I'm selling is the ones that I'm not. However, I want to be the one that gets the buyer leads that come in through it. And they said yes. And they said sure. Because it costs them absolutely nothing. They're doing deals individually with brokers. So if I find them the property, I don't know how it works in New Jersey or where some of you are Karen. I don't know how it will work for you. But when I find a property for a developer that they buy, it's kind of an unwritten rule here that they will come back to me and give me that same property to sell. Has anyone had that experience with okay, so Greg has, a few of you have. Great. So with these people, they're doing that with lots of brokers. They do 20 to 30 deals a year. So terrific. Do you have a website that's maintaining all of your properties right now and that plays up for you? No, they're kind of down and dirty. They never did it. That's what we're creating for them. And the leads that will come from that will go to us. From their standpoint, they're giving us permission to advertise. From the listing agent standpoint, it really shouldn't matter if they're actually listing it on the MLS, whether we bring it to them or not. You see what I'm saying? Now there's an opportunity that's coming from a database. You just have to begin to think out of the box with this stuff. Let me just see if we've got this here. Okay, so let me just show you here. Sorry, guys, give me a sec. Okay, and I will show you this. There. Okay, so here is the app that I was talking about that all of you can consider. So here, I actually made it look like their website. It's the relocation portal. It's password protected. So I put that in. And now you're actually in the portal. It's got that section on schools. It's got a section on timelines and deadlines of what they need to know about. 8 weeks out, define your search. 6 week out, tour tools, homes and schools, secure your home. It's got my cost tools here. So they say, well, we may want to spend $2,100,000 on a home. Why am I so specific? Because I just sold a home. We're closing next week. The down payment is 20%. The mortgage rate is, this is pretty much exactly what they're doing. And now they're going to compare it to that $15,000 rental per month that they were going to take. So, owning runs $344 a month above the $15,000 rental before equity, tax effects, and appreciation. So it's just a little tool. These are smart people in finance, but people like to interact. Here's one other thing. We talked about the bedrooms. Let's go 5 bedrooms. They're moving 2,000 miles here. Yes, pack for me. And it's coming up with this price range of $19,975 to $28,000 on the move. Again, people love being able to interact with this thing. It's password protected. I'm presenting this to the client next week, and we're making a concierge section. This thing is constantly evolving. But what I want you to take from all of that is, again, software as a marketing tool. It works. It's pretty cool. So that's something I want you to think about. Okay, we're going way over here. Wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time in the meeting. Good to see you, Jorge. Now's the time in the meeting to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you'd like to brag about. I've got several
I have
deals.
something.
Who's that? Who's that?
Deneen,
Deneen, hi. Tell us everyone where you are.
Newport Beach, California. But I have a client that has property in the Big Island of Hawaii and he wants to sell it. I don't have any contacts there. Does anyone know of
Of
an
an agent in Hawaii?
Yeah.
I do. I need to vet her out again and see if she's A, still working, and B, if it rises to the level of what you need.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. These are lots. He's got
I
2
also
lots.
might have someone. I still need to check on that.
Okay. Let me know. Thanks.
Simple question, guys. It's a great thing. You have the leads. There's people that want to move. You might as well give the leads. Who else? Eitan, any brags today?
Making progress on our CRM system.
Okay, and Eitan's building a CRM system right now, which is great stuff. And we're doing that for clients as well. Important stuff to know. Anyone else? Hassan's been silent all meeting. Makes me a little sad.
How's everybody's business? What are you guys finding? Is it
I'm busy as heck at this point. But to my defense, I've got a couple of companies that I'm running, but both are very, very active right now. So I don't know. Hassan, how's business?
Business is good. Business is good. I had a real interesting story which makes me rethink occupancy. I represented a buyer on a deal, and during the seller's occupancy, I don't want to ruin the mood of the call, but the seller killed himself during the occupancy.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just
What? Seller killed himself doing?
The occupancy, yeah.
Well, during the occupancy of he had a tenant?
No. So he had post-closing occupancy in the house.
Oh, but it closed? The deal closed?
After it closed.
So he sold the house and stayed in it?
Right, and killed himself in the house.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
And what did the buyer do?
Well, I'm sure that they got him out of the kitchen.
Well, fortunately, it wasn't anything.
Bad joke.
Fortunately, it wasn't anything violent, and it was in the garage, as far as I know. So, but yeah, but it literally,
I guess you really like the
farthest thing
house.
from my mind in terms of what you'd ever think about happening during an occupancy period.
Yeah. Well, did it slow down the process for the buyer to move it? And then did they even want the house after that?
Yeah, I guess people are different. They weren't really bothered.
Okay.
So,
well, you're lucky.
Yeah, exactly, because that could have been really ugly.
Yeah.
There's been 2 questionable suicides in my neighborhood. Same house, same spot in the garage, same method of killing themselves with a handgun.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they're very questionable in both instances. A lot of people said, well, maybe it wasn't suicide. So it's really like, I call that like the death house. And I don't think the people who live there want to live there anymore, and I may very well get the listing. So what the fuck do I do with that? I mean,
You have to disclose it for sure.
Okay, I suppose, but the
Do
last
you?
person didn't die in it. The people selling it are just selling it now. So is it? Do you have to disclose it throughout the history of these
No,
homes?
last 3 years, at least
Yeah,
for
so it's
California.
been beyond that. Okay, I got to look into it.
Yeah, the
It's a
problem
good
is
listing.
you'll
It's a
have
$6 million
neighbors.
house. I mean, it's something I'd love to sell this house. But that said, it does get me a little creepy. I definitely won't be going
I
through the
mean,
garage. I can tell you that.
I just visited the site of the Champlain Tower, and they have a new developer, doing pre-construction there, and he's not able to sell any of those.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, okay, guys. Anybody else wants, needs, and brags? Deneen, I will be making it to California this time. I'm really going to do it pretty soon.
When? When?
Likely after July 25th,
Okay.
20th, 25th, something like that. But I will definitely let you know. It was a bummer when I didn't make it this time, but I really do want to see you, and I really want to do that lunch in Santa Monica, and all our friends here who are in California. You're invited, but especially Deneen, who is near and dear to my heart. Definitely can't wait to see you.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So the next meeting is tomorrow. Again, nerd out with me on Claude Code. We're going to get highly technical with that. It's still going to be explained for those of you who want to try that gamified um, thing. I could see four of you actually downloaded it now. That's the other thing. I captured that information. It's basically called a hook. You're able to get this stuff and see who's signing up for these things. It's a great little tool that I built. But we're going to be doing a lot of that type of thing on Claude Code tomorrow. A lot of you are very curious to see how this is actually working and what you could actually do with it. And you don't need to be a complete expert to be able to use it. You just need to care and want to try. And there's a lot of tricks that we'll be able to show you tomorrow, 11 a.m. The video will be in the video archive shortly thereafter, as it will be for here. And then next week we have our next meeting on Wednesday. Eitan, do you have that? Let me just see if I have this here. It is. Sorry. It is. Yeah, tomorrow's all about Claude Code. June 17th and 19th, we're going to have two meetings that week, the same topic. I think it's important. AI investment analysis that wins the affluent client. It's going to be some great stuff that we're going to be going through. It would be great if you can make it to the Claude Code meeting before that because it's not a prerequisite, but it is something for you to consider. We got a lot of other great topics coming up, not the least of which you're telling us about. So I do want to hear from you about some topics that we could develop and work out. Mark, thank you for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it. Dora, love to catch up with you. Thank you for coming. Karen, glad to see you. Glad we got that whole little snafu with the login fixed from a while back. I want to hear your feedback, good or bad. Leslie, good to see you. Tiffany, good to see you. Eitan, as always, great seeing you. And I look forward to seeing all of you.
I just want to mention tomorrow is the second meeting or the second episode of our three-part series on Cloud Code. So you gotta come. You gotta attend
If you can,
tomorrow at 11.
well, don't make
Are
me
you,
feel bad.
will you email the details out? Somehow
Absolutely. You're all
It's
I
gonna get
missed
an
the first
email
one.
within the few minutes.
Okay, thanks.
it's coming out shortly. And again, for those of you that missed the first one, that's fine. There's going to be stuff that you'll be able to pull from this meeting. I'm trying to bring all of you into the realm of AI and what's going on out there. And again, I learned most of my stuff from people in this meeting. Did you hear about this? And the answer sometimes is no. God help me if I don't know every single thing going on.
Ed, maybe you
in
should
AI field.
mention the difference between the Cloud Code series and the regular Mastermind.
Well, it's at
It's more
11 a.m.
technical.
It's 11 a.m. Eastern time to again try and appeal to people. Leslie asks, is Claude Code for techie people or can regular people? Leslie, it is a techie topic, but I make it as easy as possible. I make it as easy as possible, and I still think that you may not learn it entirely, but I think there's things that you're going to take away from it that's worth coming to. So in any case, you're paying for the meeting. If you can make it, that would be great. If not, it's in the archive. And once again, I'm going to give this gamified, where is this thing? I'm going to give this gamified AI Claude Code lesson for all of you to give a try. If I could find the damn thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm putting it back into the chat here. There.
The
Once
method,
again.
right?
Yep, the method. So if you guys click on that, you just have to fill out the little app. Hassan, thank you for signing up for it. And you could then start to do the course on your own. It gives you little scores, a little buzzing, little stuff. If it's great, tell me. If you think it sucks, tell me. I want to fix these things. But thank you all so much for coming. And I'll stick around for a couple minutes for questions if you have any. Otherwise, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you either tomorrow or next week.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Eitan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, aka Club Realm. Hassan, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Dora, thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
See you then. Bye, everybody. Okay, take care.